This is actually an introduction to our Indie of the Week.
Oh,
how mysterious am I? Huh?
By ways and means, he gets us there.
Not because we're doing anything Vietnamese, although there are some corking Vietnam ones out there. But Piers, who does a lot of work with Warwick, and also is responsible for most of, if not all of, the miniature photography in the book, which looks spanking gorgeous. He is a huge fan of 20mm. And in particular, if anybody's ever seen his project over at OnTableTop.com, they will know the World War II 20mm he favours the most is AB. And we've never taken a look at AB.
What?
So I thought we should take a look at AB.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Yeah.
I thought so. It threw me in there. And this week, our Indie of the Week will be a serene journey through the smaller scale. So
I thought you were going to say an Indie of the Week will not be AB figure.
I just keep throwing up Whiplash, what have yous. So yes, we'll get into it very, very, very briefly before we start. Tony Barton, the man responsible for it, has been doing sculpting and the like for years for different companies, also Eureka.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Fame before he started AB himself. He does a lot of museum display stuff.
Okay.
And he also has the most magnificent tash you will ever see on a man anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Ever. I mean, he screams Renaissance / Witchfinder General in equal measure.
I was going to say that is a Civil War moustache.
Oh, it's corking. It's cracking. It's gorgeous. He did start off doing 15s originally, moved up to 18s or /20s for his World War II. And the reason he does that, if I can find it in the little thing, is because of how he sculpts. I thought I'd show you this because this is phenomenal and also very different from how a lot of people do it. So he actually uses Fimo, which is a polymer clay. So it's just like plasticine, except you stick it in the oven, it bakes hard. And he doesn't bother with armatures. So he starts with a sketch.
Okay.
And then sculpts it directly onto a tile. And then fires it. And once he's fired it and taken it out and it's hard, he then has to flip it over because one side is now flat, sculpt it away, and then sculpt the second half.
Wow.
It's a tremendous example of how somebody approaches things. Concept very different from most sculptors. And you can see the detail he gets in on his little 20mm figures is gorgeous because it's just a case of building it up. And Fimo, like Sculpey, you can, if anybody wants to start experimenting with figure sculpting or conversions or whatever it happens to be, it's a very forgiving material and you can fire it multiple times. So you fire it, it goes hard, add a new layer. When you're ready, fire it. You don't have to worry about only having a limited amount of time before it cures off or anything else. So you can take as much time as you need and you can fix mistakes endlessly until you're happy with it and then go back and go, now it's time to wing this in the oven. And it's like it's a super low oven for like 10 or 15 minutes. I know Sculpey is the same. I haven't played around with Fimo since I was a kid. But yeah, so I just thought I would show that because he ends up with these tremendously well detailed 20mm figures that then obviously get cast up in lovely metal like God intended. And then you get Bish, primed, painted, Bosch. I just thought that was a delightful little piece on the site that I know most people won't look near because people are fickle. You're fickle people. You are. I know you are. But I liked it. So
it's nice seeing an insight into the production of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And when you read the bit about the potted history, he mentions sculpting on a tile, and I'm thinking, and I couldn't wrap my head around how he got both sides. And then I seen that he doesn't even try. You know, just squash it flat and work away. Anyway, so some of these are more populated than others. World War I, for example, contains a tank crew lounging around the outside of a massive World War I tank, except there is no World War I tank. It's just the crew. So we're not bothered opening that. We will start with the ancients, though, because they're really nice. And everybody loves some Greeks. People may fear them when they bring gifts, but I like them. So that's how it goes.
Always with the horses. Jeez.
Yeah, well, you know, fish bite hooks, Trojans like horses. That's how it goes. And yes, John, the majority is World War II, and we will get there. So fear not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he will bind his time.
I'd like to show these because I mean the little 18s are absolutely gorgeous. Little tiny hoplites, Corinth style full-faced helms, Sparta with that very distinctive conical one based off their old felt caps, including his ossifer with his lovely stick of "I will thump you if you don't get back into line." His stick of authority. Who knew that the Spartans based their military structure around South Park? It's true, though. It is true. Yeah. But they're a classic little set. You can get your hoplites, get your musicians. You can get Thessaly cavalry. Oh, my God. If you want cavalry. They're just there to drive off the other skirmishers and peltasts and cavalry so that the huge phalanxes can get down to a proper man's war, slapping away in the middle for hours and hours. Filthy mercenaries, if you want to bring some Scythian archers. Thankfully, Silo need not apply. And 2 types of slingers, your standard and your staff sling, for being proper peltasty.
From the looks of it, then, is it you buy per figure and then you get a random one of the 2, basically, I suppose, if you went for like the peltas set, or is it?
Oh, you're going peltas set? Chuckles. Yeah, I think in most cases they are. Well, these are 18s, so yeah, price per figure, 69p per 130 for a horseman. Prices are fairly consistent across the site, so and depending what I mean, obviously some people will be looking at this going, what's the point of 2 guys or 3 guys, whatever it happens to be? A lot of people playing DBX systems, you've only got 12 elements. It tells you what goes on a base. So light troops, you have 2 to a base. Heavy troops, you have 3 to a base and things like that. So you never need a huge amount for the ancients, which is another reason why ancients
automatically need to get less, I suppose.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah. You can, I mean, a couple of quid in your pocket, whatever your change you currently have there at the moment is probably enough to run a DBX game. It's just how good ancients are. The Sassanids, obviously, big wicker shields and tons of fun with bows. I've seen somebody complaining about how come the Persian Empire lost every war, or why was the Persian Empire so good if they lost every war? And it's just like, I think you're listening to not enough of the right people. Matey boy.
You're listening to Greek propaganda.
Yeah, pretty much. if Greeks and Roman were always kicking their ass, how come they had an empire that lasted, 1,200 years or whatever through various dynasties? But again, you can have your horse archers, Giannis, or everybody's favorite, the impact cavalry of the day, the cataphract.
God, I love cataphracty. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So cool.
Well, you would. So much fun to
horse
paint.
Tanks.
It's all just coloured armour in different leaves of colour, so it's all good. You 2 can have a royal party. Because there is no party like a royal party, apparently.
I still remember an episode of, what was it called? The one on Time Commanders.
Yes.
Where they were in charge of the cataphract, and they charged them in, and they just left them there.
Oh, no.
Didn't pull them back out again and charge them in later. They just left them there. And I was watching these poor cataphract just get ripped to pieces, and I was like, what the hell, man? You guys don't know what you're doing.
That is harsh. That is very harsh. Romans, I'm not going to look at Romans because everybody's seen Romans. They are Romans. They are early imperial for people of that time period and ilk. If you fancy doing your gladiator style, you can do these things. ACW is a little bit older, so they are 15 rather than the sort of the larger 18 that he's moved into. But again, really nice figures if you're looking to put together ACW forces. And again, the nice thing about brother against brother is depending on which regiment they were, they could interchange easily between Confederacy and Union, just with a different paint job.
Different paint job, a couple of different hats, maybe. In many cases, they just wore the same hats anyway.
In some cases, same hats and same. I mean, I think there was one Confederate regiment that started the war Union regiment that started the war in Confederate grey. So
stop shooting us.
There's a lot of stuff going on. But you can see things like Zouaves. The more interesting Fez ones are obviously always better. Plus,
Fez equals cool.
Kepis have a place too.
Again,
marching in line. Really nice.
And again, stuff. I think as considering what you said earlier as well, I quite like that once you get down to like 18 mil and that kind of thing, you become slightly more representative rather than accurate to levels of models within units and all that kind of thing. It becomes more of an idea of like the scale of the larger battle rather than individual regiments or units and stuff. So
it's one that's a constant source of argument when it comes to terrain, because I always think for small scale games, you're better having smaller scale terrain. So for 15 mil / 18 mil Confederacy, they've got them marching through a village. If you have the village actually scaled to 50 mil, it doesn't make sense because the footprint of the men for the regiment doesn't make sense. So you're thinking that's a representation of a regimental unit. So if you have the buildings at like 6 mil and then you have a whole village there, that makes more sense when a block 80 by 20 comes past. That's what would they would dwarf the village as they walk past it. Some people like that, some people don't. Depends on your point of view. But omelette, eggs, horses for courses.
Horse eggs? What? No.
Horse eggs. The horse that lays the golden egg. But it's really nice stuff for gun limbers as well. So
nice.
Always good to have. And Napoleonics. We're
slowly getting through the
years. Don't worry. I'm not going to go through all of these because you can see this is where
a lot of Napoleonics.
This is where the meat and potatoes come from. There's a lot, and as we've discovered from looking at Napoleonics in the past, there are a lot of different eras where uniforms change and composition of forces change as well. I've not even looked in the little vignettes. I was going to go to the British Peninsula because I know your favourite of that. I know you like your British Peninsula.
Because sharp, brah.
But I will very briefly pull up the vignettes. So even if people aren't actually planning on wargaming in the era, and put together a little vignette. Sergeant Ewart and the Eagle, the 45th. Is that the first captured eagle? The one that Sharp and Harper stole?
Yeah, it could be.
I think it is. Because I'm fairly certain, because Ewart's a Irish name as well, and it was an Irish guy who captured the first colour. They've got the 69th losing theirs at Quatre Bras, which are fun little things, obviously. Teeny tiny little pictures for the teeny
really
tiny little
small,
men. But you think if you're doing a display like that, you could be doing it on, just break out your old CDs, find your copy of I Should Be So Lucky, and then just base it on that. We all have one. You know you do. All have it. Anyway. Sharp.
Good use for that Ricky Martin album I've got somewhere stuffed down the back of it.
Top of the Pops 96 is a good base for it as well.
Now that's what I call music, although
yes,
mine now what I call music are all on cassette, so we'll say nothing. We'll say anybody who's ever looking to do flags for historical periods, this is the best way to do flags. Have them in cases. So before they take the case off, the colours, that way you don't have to worry about them at all. That's
good idea.
Big leather case over it and don't worry about it. Move on with your life. And that way, if you've got two cased colours at the front of your regiment, nobody can tell you that you've got them the wrong way around. The amount of times I see regimental and king's colours are incorrectly put on and somebody underneath commenting on it, you're just going, If they're in cases, nobody knows. They don't know.
He knows.
They can't tell you. A little ossifer party. Can I ambiguate the little ossifer party? Kind of little. There you go. Is this just ways to make your center infantry and line infantry officers? Depending on the game system you're using, you may require some form of command bases around, which is always good to have. But as you can see, you've got your center company, drummers, sergeants, flank company. Presumably grenadiers are hiding somewhere as well, although technically I suppose they are flank company anyway, so I digress. Somewhere there are Scots. There we go. That's what we're here for. 18mm bagpiper.
Nice.
Get in. And then some Scots, 8 kilts, because everybody enjoys painting tartan so much more when it's 18mm.
Which way easier?
Way easier. Nobody can see whether you've mixed the weft and the wharf.
Exactly.
So it's all good. So as you would imagine, the ranges are extensive. Some bigger than others for the Napoleonics. Some may never get another look in. Who knows? What's in there might be all they're getting. But if you're after any of the coalition armies in a big way, they're all here in glorious.
I was going to say, when you showed off the menu, like pretty much all the theatres looked like they were covered anyway. So different time periods.
There's one you don't see often: the Ottomans. So everybody likes the cavalry. Now, we'll have a look at World War II, because I know John will gut me like a fish when I'm off next week if we don't. But I'm going to start with miscellaneous, John, and then you can have dealer's choice. You can steer us after that.
Yeah, sure.
Because the miscellaneous is handy to have, for it contains dead cows.
Good start.
Some guns and a ton of stowage. And really, at the end of the day, that's what you need. There's a ton of stowage to slap over everything.
Yep.
Across the board, it's infantry figures, but because this is 20mm, any of your 1/72 plastic kits from any plastic manufacturer, Hat, Tallery, Airfix, what have you, Zvezda, Plastic Soldier, whoever, you can bulk out your forces, get the armor you need or whatever else it happens to be by the medium of those. In this case, then you just go in and grab what you want after. I will say your last 3 there are I wouldn't bother, John. Okay. Italy, France are just crews for vehicles. Right. Poland, I will open Poland. Poland only has 1 entry. Okay. What do you think it is, John, before I open it? What would be the best Polish thing to have if you're going to have one?
It's going to be the little tank, isn't it? Please?
It's not, unfortunately. It's not the tank. It's Polish Paris, in case you want to do Arnhem.
Hey! Oh, cool.
So that's quite nice to have.
Sosabowski's brigade.
Just checking your uniform, General, to see which side
you're on.
Oh, Gene Hackman, you absolute legend.
General Browning, what of the Germans?
So good. Anyway, that aside, let me get me back in. Who do you want to go to?
Let's go Britain.
Yes.
I want to see Britain.
Infantry, support, artillery, or tank crews?
Artillery, please.
Ooh.
Bringing on the artillery for 10.
This just in. What gun made me weep?
6s, 17s, Bofors, and crews. That's all right. Nice to see it, Bofors.
Yeah, both are artillery.
Crews for different theatres as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh well,
North Africa stuff. So
as we've seen from Pierce's extensive, I think he calls it the never-ending project. Is this the Infinite Project? Yeah, he is covering. He is attempting a 1-to-1 recreation of all theatres in World War II. But things like, I mean, even there's your airborne crew
for your little pack howitzers and stuff. Yeah.
Some little expeditionary force. So you go from your very early war.
Your why do we bother gun?
Yes. Yep. God bless it. God bless it. To Battle of Britain.
Good old Bofors.
Stop blowing up my streets, you son of a bitch.
Stop sending those V1s over.
Your airborne howitzers.
Mm.
So, yeah,
the
nice
original
collection.
Rocket Man. Yeah.
Even North Africa. A tiger in Africa. We've done there. I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? Reset me back to regular size. There we go.
Yeah.
The British Artillery Command.
All looks pretty tidy to me. Of course it would. It's a guy that sculpts all the time. Like, he's going to be good.
It's got a little blackboard.
That's cool.
I'm assuming that's not a blackboard. I'm assuming somebody in the comments will tell me what that is.
I want it to be a blackboard.
I want it to be a blackboard.
Yeah, I want someone to paint it in and then get little tiny chalk.
Oh, if it's battery command, it probably is a chalkboard for them to be writing down like a range card. Yeah, they've got an area plotted out for them from their spotters.
Yeah.
How did I spotters?
Nice.
Flying because I was like they're probably in a Piper Cub or something.
Yeah. Sticking with Britain.
Go for it. Infantry.
Get the lads off the boats. Yeah.
Again, a fine selection of figures. I will say for people looking at 20 mil as well, games like Fight for Victory, Bolt Action, Chain of Command, all of them play, I think, much better in 20 mil. You can put a lot more terrain and the like on the table at that smaller scale. Don't change any ranges at all. Don't change any distances. Just make the figure smaller and have more fun.
For the most part, it would be better if you just took ranges out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that can't fire across a 6x4 table is a pistol.
Which makes sense.
And that's it. So otherwise, everybody else is good to go.
Yep.
Love the infantry and slit trenches as well. They're really nice.
Oh, that's a nice little bonus thing.
Yeah. I've got a set of these in 15 for Flames of War. Many moons ago, I got a set. Not
you can see where the display influence comes in.
Yes.
With a lot of these sets, as opposed to it just inherently being a wargaming affair.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Obviously, the fact he's done museum displays leads into some of the sculpting style for pieces, like making sure that you've got the accuracy of having certain things within the gun crew having the little spool of wire so they can run out the radios and things like that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even think you see many of them running around the place in 28 mil carrying those. So yeah, there's a certain exacting detail, which is great to see. There's Chindits drink. If you want to do stuff in Burma.
Nice.
And even things like Sikh as well.
Always good to see. Yeah.
Everybody's favorite spring launched thing.
The Piat.
Piat. I did see somebody the other day congratulate it on the grounds that it was the only anti-tank weapon of the war that you could fire from inside a house in cover without worrying about the back,
no back,
the
blast.
blowback. Yeah, absolutely hammering you. So yeah, go Springs, go Team Springs.
Yeah,
but if it was anything bigger than a half track, there was no point in shooting at it anyway.
I mean, those Burmese were great.
So that cover would be gone in a second, regardless. Yeah. You'd just alert the tank to the fact that you were there. So, dink.
Hear a plink and be like, oh.
There's a then when they open the hatch to go, yes, you knocked, then you shoot them quickly. Gotcha. Weren't expecting me. Well,
the Piat Inquisition.
Could be that. We'll saunter away from Britain and have a look at something in one of the others.
Go on, John, pick another one.
See, I know the German stuff's going to be great looking anyway. So,
Soviets.
Want to see if there's any unusual Soviet stuff in here.
Where do we want to go then? We've not looked at support.
Yeah, let's look at support. I was thinking support because I know what a Soviet infantryman looks like. I think everyone knows what a Soviet infantryman looks like.
Just a man running around without a gun, looking for someone who has a gun.
It's just a homeless guy wrapped in a blanket, possibly with a rifle in their hands.
A lot of drivers, tank riders, and crew, which is nice. In fact, Soviets sitting. Could be on a park bench, could be in the back of a lorry, just sitting.
Just sitting.
Could be,
sitting on a bench in Berlin at the end of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Could be there as well, visiting the zoo. Nothing left in it.
No.
Oh, that dressing station's lovely. Just dragging wounded in on
field
blankets.
Nurses and all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Fancy gorgeous. Next, please.
Tank Cruise.
Tank Cruise. Not to be confused with Terry Crews.
Soviet linebacker.
There's tank crew communicating via the medium of red flag. My favorite type of tank crew.
That's the 41 to 43 before they had radios.
We go this way. Follow the lead. Follow
the one with the red. Yeah.
Mother hen and chicks. Or hen and chicks.
Is that what it was actually for? Like,
yes.
Follow me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they didn't have communication between them. So
the only tanks that had radios was the command tank for the platoon.
Oh wow!
And he could only talk to the brigade commander, who could only talk to the divisional commander.
Wow!
So the individual tank platoons just had to watch the lead tank, and if he got knocked out, they just stopped. They just went, "I don't know what I'm doing anymore."
Crikey!
It's really nice cruise.
So much for your Soviet steamroller. Like if you shot the right guy, it stopped.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I know the Flames. I don't know if they still do. Years ago, Flames used to have the rule hen and chick.
They mimicked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it meant nobody could go further forward than the leader. They always had to stay behind the command tank. So even if you're getting in a position where you're going, "Wow, I'd like to sweep round here," no, it's not how they operated. I like this little Gaz Jeep.
You don't get the Gaz Jeep though. It's just the crew.
I don't think so. It'll just be the crew.
It looks like it's just the crew. Yeah.
Same as t'others.
Has he referenced what size that vehicle is though, like scale wise?
Well, it'll be 20 mils or 1/72nd. So
is that what 72nd translates to?
Yeah. So should be relevant. And there's other companies out there doing stuff in 20s as well.
Yeah.
It might be that he has the tanks maybe small enough for him to cast himself, but it seems like an awful lot of a pain in the arse considering how he sculpts.
And why would you sculpt something that is available nearly everywhere else?
Yeah.
In some form or another.
Not
so many crews. That's so cool. Yeah.
We'll have one quick look at the infantry before we run off. I'm not depopulating the screen anymore.
Are we going to get Stalingrad infantry that just have no guns? Just knives,
rifles,
broken bottles.
Everybody's favorite with drum mag, which I believe, even though they came with stick mags as well, I've never seen anybody field one with a stick mag in anger.
They didn't use the drum mag a lot with the early. No, they used the stick mag early with the earlier model, the PPS. Was it just the PPH or the PPS? I have a Soviet guy sat next to me that's like, he would know.
You throw peanuts at his head.
I should throw peanuts at his head, but I don't have any peanuts.
No.
I'll throw a Tootsie Roll, though.
Well, yep,
do that.
Work.
Yeah.
I miss.
Like a good Soviet.
Yeah.
And some really nice poses as well. I like the run and gun.
Proper attacking poses for a lot of the miniatures, which is nice. Yeah.
Was one of them wearing the body armor there? Did I see what? Yeah, see the top row second from the right.
Is that the one?
Or is that just?
I'm not sure. I think. Who can say?
Oh, it's just
a bedroll or whatever.
Just the bedroll kind of casting it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost thought he was a pioneer for a second.
You'll probably find there are in here somewhere, but
I would say so. Yeah. PTRD.
Oh, Maury, I've overshot, John. Sorry.
I feel like I should have when you pointed at the Maxim, I should have done the Leonardo DiCaprio of that because we've seen that recently.
Yes. Two of your Maxims. Scouts wearing amoeba suits.
Not the amoeba suit.
Amoeba suit?
Yeah.
What is an amoeba suit?
It's a one-piece sniper camouflage thing, but the pattern on it is like really weird black blobby things, and people just call it amoebas.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to cosplay as a World War II Soviet soldier.
Right.
Buy an amoeba suit and buy a gun of something. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can have German guns in there too. You could be running around with a K98 if you felt like it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Interesting.
Right. Soviets for the White Scout car. Oh, there we are. Oh, there's Soviet dead. Oh, I should have got them for Shay.
I like it. I like that on the page that it's the Soviet heroes and the Soviet dead beside him on the webpage.
You need to buy those at a rate of 1 hero pack for every 10 to 15 dead packs to maintain accuracy. But there you go. They're one step away from Berlin.
They're one step away from being a Soviet propaganda poster.
Aren't they, though?
That is exactly what that is.
That'd be cool, set into like a picture frame, like wood thing with like a 3D background. Oh,
we're gonna have to get Shay onto this real soon. I know he's getting annoyed at me, so
he gets annoyed at everyone. I find it best to talk to him.
Yeah, I know he gets annoyed at everyone. It's fine.
Right, that's enough of that. AB figures, definitely worth checking out if you fancy some of the smaller scale stuff. I will find the link for Piers' project and pass it across to Ben, who'll stick it below. Because if you want to see up close, personal, and a ton of painted stuff,
nice big pictures.
Piers has been working on them for years. In fact, anybody who's picked up things like battle grip rules will probably have seen a lot of these miniatures painted up in the actual books as well, because Piers has done a lot of the miniature photography for those. And even, I think at one stage, the Plastic Soldier Company boxes as well. He was doing stuff for those using theirs. And they do 1/72 vehicles in plastic. At least they did. So you may be able to grab some of the bits and pieces you need if you fancy going that way, or do Ancients and Napoleonics in 18. It's all good. Right. Time for some news.